What do you need to get involved in Yorkshire in Bloom? Well, not that much actually. It doesn't need buckets of money, just lots of enthusiasm, motivation, like-minded people and a real desire to make a positive impact on your community. You won't be on your own. There's masses of support and advice available. It's also a great way to make new friends. So what are you waiting for?
The Bloom campaign is an environmental campaign that works right across the country. There are over 1,000 communities and 100 of those communities are of course in Yorkshire.
Well, when people enter Yorkshire in Bloom, there's an expectation that there will be a lot of floral displays, but actually in Bloom is much more than that. It's actually about getting the kids involved, it's about getting the community involved.
We wanted a nationally recognised scheme, and obviously in Bloom is very much a case of being nationally, almost worldwide recognition. We would have gone down this journey, I think, without In Bloom, but having In Bloom has encouraged us, it's given us a framework to work within, it's given us support, it's given the things that we actually wanted to help us through the whole system.
What the community can get out of it is certainly lots of pride about where they live. Every community can really get involved, from the smallest ones down the village or up to cities.
There's no feeling like the Bloom buzz, to be quite honest. To be out there making a difference, and quite often it's learning new skills. You're making a difference to the community. You're at team building or you make new friends, and it's just such a good thing to know that you've made a difference, even if it's something as simple as planting some bulbs or a tree that you aren't out every week. It's knowing that you've made a difference, and there's no feeling like that.
Well, people in communities have to do it for the right reasons. They have to do it for themselves. So basically, do it if you want the place to look better for yourself. Don't do it because you want it a better place for your kids. Do it because you want it a better place for your grandkids. Do it because you just generally want to be proud of it. When you become interested, the council will become interested, and so it goes on. It's a partnership approach.
If you're going to organise it, give it energy and commitment, but if you want to be involved with your local group, just go along and do as little or as much as you can, and don't feel like you have to be an expert in gardening. You don't. Even if you can go and pick up a bit of litter, you will be a valuable member of that team.
Because there are many different elements to Bloom. I mean, it isn't just necessarily about being out and hands-on working on the ground. There are many groups who need help with either computer work or designing posters or even baking for a cake stall for fundraising. So there are many, many different aspects to volunteering. It isn't all about being out and being on the ground.
It's a first-time entry, so it's difficult to tell them how to do the tour, but we're doing this to a time scale. We're not exactly tied to time, but we are sort of trying to keep them to a reasonable time scale. We're also looking at trying to encourage them to show us different aspects and meet different people en route. So we want to see the partnerships between Goole in Bloom, between the District Council and the Regional Council, and how that feeds down into things like education and community involvement. But we're looking at all sorts of things, from schools to allotments to the town centre, the general built environment, the heritage. Not just about hanging baskets and flowers, which is what it's often seen as, but it's that whole holistic approach to the environment and how that relates to the people who live in that community. And they're a little bit worried, they're a little bit on edge. We've got to sit them at ease and make them enjoy the process. But we do take the weather conditions into account. And it's unfortunate, but hey, we live in Britain, it happens, you know, let's get on with it.
Yeah, people volunteer their own time and that's invaluable, but at the end of the day, money makes the world go round, so you do need money. So there are people in our group that get their hands dirty. They actually literally get their hands dirty. They'll do litter picks and they'll do flower planting, bulb planting, all of those sorts of things. But others concentrate on raising money.
Well, it's been very reassuring today that we can get some help and advice, and that there's lots of bodies such as BTCV and the Wildlife Trust and people like that we can call on for help and possibly some grant aid and that sort of thing. So it is very reassuring, and it makes you think, well, yes, it's doable.
We've had some tremendous feedback. Sometimes people have bigger expectations of us than we can deliver because we are, after all, just a group of 12 volunteers. However, the feedback is tremendous and people have got involved. One woman said to me, I've lived here for 42 years and I've never seen it looking so good, which is praise indeed.
People go into In Bloom thinking that they can buy a medal. They can't. It's got to be about commitment. It's about making the best value for money out of the existing resource in an area. So often I see on judging tours where people have said that they need to, raise a lot of money to do In Bloom. They don't. They just need to raise a lot of enthusiasm, really. And you can't buy enthusiasm, to be honest. It's got to come from the community.
For more information on Yorkshire in Bloom and to find out how you can get involved, please visit our website at www.yorkshireinbloom.co.uk.